Heather, Creative Associate Editor for Printwear Magazine. And I'm here at the Printwear Show in Baltimore. We're spending 5 minutes with Craig Mertens, the President of Digital Art Solutions today. Thanks for being with us.
Welcome.
Why don't you start by telling us what's new in the digital art production world?
Well, from my perspective, I think what's going on in terms of at least apparel decoration is a migration from traditional screen printing processes to direct-to-garment printing. I think from my personal perspective, it seems like everybody misses the boat on the strengths of that technology, and they're looking for opportunities to replace screen printing. Digital garment printing to me is amazing because you can do things that you could never do screen printing without minimums, high-resolution photographs, very dynamic graphics. So I think we continue to see the industry shift towards direct-to-garment printing, and that seems to be one of the most prominent techniques for decorating garments that's really taken hold. So that would be my opinion on that.
So how would you rate our overall industry health this year versus the same time last year?
Well, we've been fairly insulated. I think it depends on what industry you're in. We deal with quite a few industries: awards and recognition, sign making, wide format printing, apparel decoration. What we've seen is the apparel decoration, people always need t-shirts. So, there's one industry from my perspective that's always been somewhat insulated against economic recession, and that's the t-shirt business, for lack of a better word. So it's a fairly low-cost product. It's easy to produce. The football teams and little leagues, those people aren't going away. So we've seen our customers fairly insulated in terms of the apparel graphics. Where we've seen a downturn is anybody that's tied to the corporate world, and we've definitely seen a slack in their sales. But our business is better than ever, so I feel pretty fortunate. So I think the health is starting to turn around, and we definitely see an increase in people's willingness to spend money, and that's usually a good indicator of what's going on in the economy, the people's spending habits.
Do you have any predictions for next year?
I'm already starting to see us kind of roll out of the recession. I think wallets are going to loosen up a little bit, not only in corporate America but also in our industries. I think we're going to see an increase in trade show attendance. I think we're going to see people starting to invest money in their businesses again. A good friend of mine that's an investment banker said, you know what? The people that are going to keep their foot out of the pool and are going to retrench, those people aren't going to be in business a year from now. The people that keep their foot in the pool, when things turn around in the economy, they're going to be diving in and they're going to be reaping the rewards of taking a little bit of risk while that was going on. So I personally think it's a great time for people to invest in their business because there's deals out there, and you can save money by taking advantage of some of these aggressive specials that some of the suppliers are providing. So
with business, in some aspects being a little bit slower, do you find decorators now taking more of an active interest in training, kind of honing their skills while they have some downtime?
Absolutely. It blows me away. We started doing webinars, free webinars, about a year ago. And it's interesting. We do about 18 webinars a month on average now, and people get pretty fried when we cancel a webinar. It's like people get really, they get so plugged into it. They get so plugged into the education, and it's not just the computer stuff, what button does what. We do a lot of business development training, and I think people are spending some of their downtime getting invested in webinars, and it's become a really important part of helping to make sure our clients are successful. So we have a lot of people that are like, hey, we'd really like to plug in on your education stuff. And we're like, hey, great. Well, we do that for our customers. That's one of the added benefits that we provide. So there's certain things we give away for free. There's other things that are kind of membership has its privileges. And I think training is more important than ever. People will spend a lot of money on their equipment. They won't spend money on learning how to operate it or learning how to do the graphics side. So people are starting to see the importance of training, and we've certainly taken the industry lead on that. So,
well, speaking of the graphics side, it seems that the art production process is one of the most technical aspects of the whole apparel decoration process. What are the major differences between the companies that do that in-house and take an active interest in it versus those who are using only the surface of their programs or who farm it out?
Well, I have very strong opinions on this. I personally don't believe that you can truly be successful in our industry if you don't have some form of in-house graphics capability. That's what I do for a living, is I set people up with an in-house graphics capability. And if I look at our clients, a small business with the right software tools can go and compete with the big boys. And so, I think that I just don't think you can successfully grow your business with outsourcing. There's too much of a time delay. I think that taking the creative part out of it, you don't have to be a great graphic designer. You got to be a good assembler. So if you have the right tools, obviously clip art and design templates and software, and the right training, you don't have to be a graphic designer. You're just a good assembler of existing things, and I think people can be quite successful doing that. So a small business doesn't have to have a full-time professionally trained graphic designer. They just have to have the right tools to get their designs done.
All right, well, is there anything you wanted to add to the discussion or say to our viewers out there?
Well, I think what I'd like to add is, hey, this has been a terrific experience working with the folks at MBM, and they put on a great trade show, and I especially appreciate the commitment that you guys have to education, because you know what, it's training and education that helps our customers elevate their game and be more successful. So,
well, thank you. We appreciate that. Thanks for watching.